Every few decades, the world produces a man who asks the right question at exactly the wrong time. Erik Lehnsherr was that man. This is his trial. He survived the Holocaust at 9 years old. He lost his daughter to a mob and his wife to her own fear of him. He watched his closest friend build a school for the world that had tried to erase him, and chose to build a fortress instead. 4 episodes, 4 lessons, 1 man, 1 question that never got answered. Was he the villain, or just the wrong answer to a real problem? The 4th panel examines the evidence. 4 counts, 4 lessons. The verdict, yours. Count 1, the wound. The concentration camp didn't just take his childhood. It installed a belief so deep and so early that he never had the distance to question it. He was 9 years old. In that classroom, his mind made a decision it would spend 80 years defending. Trauma doesn't give you the truth. It gives you the most urgent version of it and calls it permanent. Most of us do this. We just don't build fortresses around it. The question Count 1 leaves on the table. What belief are you still defending that you built before you were old enough to know better? Count 2, the exit he didn't take. Charles Xavier didn't offer Erik an easy answer. He offered him a harder one, that you could know the world was cruel and still choose not to become cruel yourself, that you could survive the worst of humanity and still extend trust. Erik looked at that answer, understood exactly what it would cost him. Every conviction, every sacrifice he had already made, every loss he had weaponized into a mission, and he left it on the table. The most expensive thing any of us will ever do is reject the right answer because accepting it means admitting we were wrong. Count 2. He knew the exit existed. He chose the door on the left anyway. Count 3. The challenger he silenced. The day Magneto surrounded himself exclusively with people who agreed with him was the day he became uncorrectable. Not because his ideas were wrong, some weren't, but because he removed the only mechanism that could catch his errors before they became irreversible. An army that never questions you isn't loyal. It's just a mirror that tells you what you want to see. The person who challenges you most respectfully is the most valuable person in any room. The day you cut them off, you stop growing. You just don't notice until the damage is already done. Count 3. He didn't just lose his challenger, he lost his mirror. Count 4. The walls. He built a city out of his fear of loss. The logic was sound. If you protect it completely enough, the world cannot take what you love. Build high enough walls and no one can ever do to your children what was done to you. But trauma doesn't just protect the people inside the walls. It teaches them what the world looks like through the eyes of someone who was once 9 years old and terrified. Wanda and Pietro didn't leave because the fortress wasn't safe. They left because staying meant inheriting his wound as their own, and they refused. The saddest prisons are the ones we build ourselves and then mistake for homes. Count 4. He built the safest place on Earth and made it impossible to stay. 4 counts. 4 moments where the story could have gone differently. A belief he never questioned. An answer he never accepted. A challenger he silenced. A fortress he couldn't leave. The charge. The wrong answer to the right question.
I spent my life fighting for a world that was safe for people like us. I never stopped to ask if the world I was building was the one they actually wanted to live in.
Erik was never the villain. He was just the wrong answer to the right question. And somewhere, I think he always knew it.
The verdict isn't his, it's yours. Because the question he asked, who protects the people the powerful destroy out of fear, is still unanswered. He just chose the wrong way to fight for it. Check if your answer is any different. Magneto chose to become his pain. Next, a man who has no choice at all.